Governor Maggie Hassan releases her state budget proposal for the next 2 years on Thursday. It'll be fascinating to see how she actually balances this thing. We're certainly being told a few things. One, state revenue estimates for the next 2 years are pretty conservative. They're quite confident that Republican legislative leaders aren't going to be able to say what Republicans usually say about Democratic budgets. Certainly that John Lynch admitted that the revenues were too optimistic. We're being told they're really relying on very conservative estimates. We're also being told that while Governor Hassan asked state agencies to submit budget targets for a 3% spending cut in the next year, that there's not going to be that kind of cut in most state agencies. She became convinced by a lot of those spending proposals that those numbers were just too low and weren't, that many department heads actually indicated that these would lead to layoffs. And I don't think this governor is interested in significant layoffs in this budget if she can avoid it. I think the big imponderable in this budget really is gambling. Is it in or is it out? She supports one casino in southern New Hampshire. Potentially that could allow her to get some revenue in this budget, but I think in all likelihood it's probably out because as we've seen in other states, including in Massachusetts with casinos of late, the money doesn't come right away. I mean, it's almost 18 months since the Massachusetts legislature and Governor Deval Patrick agreed on a casino deal. Not $1 has come to that state as yet. Despite the fact there's going to be 3 casinos and a big slot parlor at one of the racetracks in Massachusetts. So it would be kind of a fool's errand for Maggie Hassan to rely on a lot of money in this budget from gambling, certainly in the short term. The other problem is she really doesn't have, can't have any reasonable expectation the House of Representatives are going to approve expanded gambling. They've never done it in the last 25 years over multiple attempts, including under the Republican-led legislature, when Republican legislative leaders got on board with gambling. They couldn't get a majority vote in the House. So if you put gambling in this budget, you use some of the money, gambling doesn't pass the House, you then have an unfunded budget, and it gets much more difficult to put this package together by June 30th. I don't think it's going to be in there. I think what's more than likely is a fairly conservative budget, and perhaps statements by Governor Hassan in the coming weeks after she presents the budget that, hey, if you want to restore more spending than I restored, you want to finance the completion of I-93 and give more money to higher education, a casino may be the way to accomplish that.